far more for the Bank Nifty. That's down about 6%. The Nifty has given up about 3%, 3.2% from that high of 22,100 odd where we were at. So that's where we are. Let's pull up the Midcap index because that one's fighting back very good. The Midcap index was down over 2% at one point in time, and now it's down less than 1%. So the recovery on the Midcap screen is also looking very, very good for the time being. In fact, we'll talk technicals, but since we brought up Midcaps, I think my colleague Hormaz is with us now. Yeah, I think we can go to him because he's been doing some number crunching. At one point in time, as I said, this index was down 2%, and this market is not used to seeing a Midcap fall. Hormaz, so bring us the numbers and the data.
You know, the market is not used to seeing that, and as a result of which the dip has been bought into in the mid-cap index, at least as of now. And as you can see, it's down for the third straight day today, and at the lowest point of the day, the mid-cap index was down 4% in the last 3 trading sessions. Now, the last time the mid-cap index was down for 3 days in a row, regardless of the quantum, was back in October. So it shows the kind of move that the mid-cap index has seen. And remember that in the series of November, starting the 1st of November, barring that first day, the index had not declined for a single session. So it shows the kind of move that the mid-cap index has had. Now, as a result of today's fall, the Nifty Midcap index has broken below its 20-day moving average. It had already broken below the 10 DMA. But the 50 DMA, the 50-day moving average is still 1,500 points below from where the current levels are. So now that the recovery has happened, that the distance would be a lot more now. And the RSI on the charts as well, it was in overbought territory 3 days back. It was at 76. Now it's down to 49. A key mid-cap loser that I would want to highlight today, though, is IRFC, and that stock has seen a stellar run over the last 7 sessions, almost 50% higher, and that has snapped a 7-day gaining streak today. It was the RSI on the charts as well was up in overbought territory. Despite the fall today, it's still in overbought territory. It's at 82 now. Now coming to the small cap index, and that index has also seen a bit of a recovery from the lows of the day. But at the lowest point, it was down 3% in the last 3 sessions. And it has now declined for the last time it fell 3 days in a row was back in November between the 20th and the 22nd. And even in those 3 days, the 2 of those 3 days were largely flat. It's just a negative close below the flat line. And as a result of today's fall as well, it's broken below the 20 DMA, and the 50 DMA is still 600 points away from where the current levels are. And the key small cap loser that I want to highlight today on the downside is IEX. There's a lot of negative news flow surrounding the stock. It's down another 7% today after the 10% fall that we saw, and it is now down to the lowest level since September. But all in all, the dip is still getting bought into in the mid-cap index, and as a result of which the index is seeing a bit of a recovery as well. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Hormaz, thank you very much for that. So let's track this recovery and see if it can last. That is the mid-cap space. Just want to point out on IEX, as Hormaz was also mentioning, the issue there is this market coupling. Pull up IEX as a stock. And what is market coupling is a big worded term. Thing is, basically, if market coupling comes in, and that is what the power minister yesterday told our colleagues in CNBC Awaz, that it should be implemented soon enough. If it comes in, then the absolute dominance that IEX has in the power exchange space, that could come into question. So it could be perhaps pretty disruptive for the business, and therefore, second consecutive day of fall on IEX. But